Hi, I'm Sam. Welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to talk about should you join the army young. Now, the British Army is one of the very few armies actually that will recruit soldiers of 16 years old, and there is some controversy about that as well. So today I'm just going to go through should you join the army young, and I'm going to give you the good points and bad points. So what I'm going to do is start off with the bad points. I think one of the main bad points is research has been done, and I was reading something about it recently by Forces Net, that actually mental illness within young soldiers in the army is 3 times higher than that of their civilian counterparts. And also, when young soldiers of around the age of 24, when they do leave the army, they are also quite prone to mental illness, be it PTSD, or they haven't quite had that life experience beforehand. They joined the army when they were young, and in fact now they don't know how to act as a civilian, because when you join the army you learn so much discipline, but also at the same time a lot of things get done for you, like cooking, and you're in this routine. Your breakfast is already made, you just go to the cookhouse, your lunch is already made, your dinner's already made. If you're going on exercise, you'll get packed lunches, and some people just can't handle that when they get out of the army and they've joined really young. So I think if you are thinking, just consider that, which brings me on to my next point, which is your life experience. The life experience at a young age, when you're around 16, when you've just left school, that will shape you generally as an adult for potentially the rest of your life. And do you actually need to experience the minor highs and lows so you know how you're going to deal with them when you do join the army? Because sometimes when you're in certain environments, highs and lows can be hugely magnified, and some people just cannot deal with them because they haven't dealt with them on a smaller level as a civilian. The loss of a friend, the not getting promoted, they are huge lows that you can experience, and it might be your first experience of a low in your life, and because you've never really dealt with that before, even on a minor level, some people do find it quite difficult. You're not allowed as well, so some people will join the army at 16 with a view to getting out and going on tour. Now, it's going to be tough for you to go on tour because you will need parental permission to go on tour before 18 years of age. Now, you could get given a notification when you're 17 years and 9 months and you're going on tour in 5 months' time. That means you will then be 18 and you won't need parental permission for that. But before the age of 18, going on tour, unless your parents sign a waiver, that may not happen either. Driving. So you join the army at 16, you're not old enough to drive. You turn 17, you're still in the army. Potentially, if you've gone to Harrogate, you are still going through basic training, so you won't even have time to have your driving lessons. And when they turn 17, your mates may be starting their driving lessons as on the other side of that. So therefore, there is a good point to driving. I will come on later. But therefore, you're not going to be able to drive. So then when you go to your phase 2 unit, you're going to have to get a train home and back, where everyone else might have cars. And if they're going in a completely different direction, they'll be driving home. You will, in fact, just be catching a train, or you might be stuck on camp for the weekend. So that is also something to think about as well. And also, you might not be allowed to do some trade. So with my trade within electronic warfare, we won't accept people from Harrogate because they'll be too young once they finish trade training. So you could potentially, because of clearances that is, so you could potentially transfer later on, but you could be limited to trade if you do join up as a boy soldier. There's some of the, I would say, the major bad points. Some people on this might think of more. If you do, put them in the column below, in the comments below, and I can do another video. But they were the big ones when I've been talking to people today. Now we're going to move on to the good points on why, in fact, you can or should join as a boy soldier at 16. So, routine is good, and human nature requires routine, and you will get thrown into a routine straight away. You're going to bed at night, waking up in the morning, the body loves routine. You go into breakfast, that gets done. Meals, all made for you. Weekends, food, all done for you. Or you can nip to the nap. Everything will be in close proximity for where you are. So perhaps if you have had a difficult time, if you're from a bad background, a poor background, anything like that, joining the army can be escape from that, just to ensure you get your discipline, you get meals, you keep fit, and also you can go on adventure training, which is another point. Once you're out of training at 17 years, you can almost travel the world for next to nothing. It could be sailing in Cyprus for 2 weeks. That might only cost you 80 quid. It might be going to Nepal, climbing like little parts of Everest. That might not cost you much money either. There is just amazing opportunities out there as a young soldier that you can do really cheap, that your friends who are in college and uni might not be able to. Right, pay. So I've done a video on pay a while back, and it's not good when you're an adult to start off with. But as a young kid at 17, it ain't that bad. And you'll be going through Harrogate more than likely, and you will be getting paid. And then once you've done that, you'll go on to your phase 2 training. Past that, you get a pay increase after a certain amount of 6 months. You get a pay increase, and then from there, then you might get a promotion in a couple of years, and then you'll be on decent money. And I understand friends or some of your friends will be in uni and college, but you can also have that education piece within the military as well. The military are pushing education within its ranks, for the soldiers and officers. You have all these different learning credits that, in fact, you know what? You might not have got maths and English when you were at school. You can certainly get them when you're in the army, should you think later on in your career that you really would like them. If you're thinking about getting out, you can do that degree whilst you're in the army, or get your A-levels whilst you're in the army, doing night school, and the army will pay for things like that. So that's good. So you won't miss that education piece too much. Right, driving. I mentioned before about your friends might be driving when they hit 17. Within the signals, if you join up in the Royal Signals, after you've done your phase 2 training, your trade training, you will not leave phase 2 training without your category B driver's license. So you'll be able to drive a car, it'll get all paid for you. It'll probably take about 4 weeks, where your friends might be having like one lesson a week for 9 months. It'll all get paid for you, and you'll have it done within about 4 weeks. And then you can go out, buy a car, and you'll be able to travel when you get to your new unit, no problems. Also, careers can be short within the civilian sector, especially what we've seen recently with the pandemic and people losing their jobs. And if you're self-employed, not bringing any money in, within the military, you will guarantee get paid. But and also it could last for anything up to 30 years. So you could have a 30-year career. By the end of it, get a pension, and you'll also have that pension continuing then for the rest of your life. So I would say that is a pretty good point at this moment in time. Or similarly, you can do just your 12 years, you've got your other experience, and you can go out and be a civvy and get a job from some of the qualifications that you've got in the army. And even when you do join basic training, when you start basic training, all that'll happen is you can quit within 6 months. So if you don't like it and you're a boy soldier, you can get out within 6 months. But not only that, if you're a disgruntled junior soldier, you could probably get out after 6 months as well. They will err on the side of letting you go rather than risking you doing and anything foolish just to get out, like taking drugs to get out or going on a disciplinary to get out. They'd sooner let you go, and perhaps you can join back later when you're a little mature. So for me, should you join as a boy soldier? Essentially, it will be down to you, but these are some things that you can think about, and not only that, you can always try and just get out, try something else in Civilian Street and join back up later on. If you do have any questions, please leave them in the comment section below. I always get back to them, whether I know the answer or not, who knows, but I always will get back to them all, and hopefully with a solid answer as well. Other than that, take care. Bye.